Police union Popcru has written to the South African Police Management demanding what they say is overtime pay to their members during the elections. The union says their members are yet to receive their payments for the extra hours they put in during the recently concluded polls. Among the affected provinces are KwaZulu-Natal and Mpumalanga. Let's get some detail now on this, and we are joined by Popcru national spokesperson Richard Mamabolo. Mr. Mamabolo, good evening to you, and thank you for your time. Exactly what is the grievance here? Are you able to spell it out for us?
Good evening to you and the viewers. Look, Toli, as is the case with any other special events, we normally have meetings wherein we agree on certain terms and conditions, and this time around it was no different. On the 24th of May, the SAPS and stakeholders held meetings looking into members being deployed to oversee the elections, which was obviously declared as a special event by the National Police Commissioner. And this is, of course, in line with an existing Safety and Security Sectoral Bargaining Council Agreement 2 of 2014. Now, we further agreed in that meeting that members who would be on a call-up instruction will work only 12 hours, and meaning that there will be 2 sessions of working 12 hours, 12-hour shifts per day, resulting in 24 hours, because under normal circumstances, members of the SAPS would work for 18 hours. So through that agreement, we agreed that whatever time they work, any time beyond that, beyond the 12 hours, they would be paid in terms of the normal overtime pay, which is also something which is stipulated in the Safety and Security Sectoral Bargaining Council Agreement 3 of 2014.
Yeah.
Now, we've since had complaints mainly from KZN, and just today we had further complaints which affect around 1,951 members in the Eastern Cape alone. And so this matter is clearly something which we are closely observing. And of course, we have since yesterday communicated with all our provinces to actually find out as to how many members are affected. So for now, there are still 2 provinces in the main. And what we had said was that the management needs to come to terms with the fact that this is not just a wish that Popcru makes, but it's in terms of the agreement that was made. And considering what has happened in the past, wherein agreements would have been signed and not implemented, we felt that we need to take up this matter as urgently as possible. So we are expecting to get a full report in the coming day with regards to other provinces. But of course, we have also communicated to the management of the SAPS to address the matter. We know that our structure in KZN, for example, had a meeting with the management yesterday, and the management had communicated to them that they were still looking into the details of this matter, and we were quite hopeful that it will be addressed as soon as possible.
So exactly how many hours did your members work during these elections? Because there does appear to be a notice from yourselves that indeed members were paid some of the monies that you think are owed to them, but it is simply not enough. So how much is outstanding?
The numbers vary, really. I think what we have consolidated up to so far is that some work between 24 to 36 hours in different provinces. So that is something which still needs to be consolidated in terms of depending on how long members had to be at different police stations. You remember that not all police stations were open, or rather were closed at a similar time. So there are such differences. And that is precisely what we have been working on consolidating. So the consolidation has been forthcoming from the 2 provinces, and we will be awaiting other provinces if they do indeed have such matters to come forth. And I think the one challenge that Mpumalanga has really, which they've come clearly out against, was that there had been replacements of deployments. You know, in the case where somebody would have been required to be deployed somewhere, and at that specific time they were not available. So the province has been engaged with the provincial police commissioner about the matter, which was supposed to have been addressed by now. But unfortunately, as you would know, the provincial commissioner has been suspended, and they've never had a time to speak to the acting commissioner in the province of Mpumalanga. So we will be anticipating that there will be talks, and hopefully by early next week, all these matters should be resolved if the SAPS keeps to its end of the bargain.
Yeah, there is a risk here, Mr. Mamabolo, that if this matter is not resolved, potentially some of your members could down tools. I'd like for you to address that, but before that, there are obviously high-risk areas that are under police surveillance at the moment, such as KwaZulu-Natal. What is the situation on the ground? Are you able to tell us whether your members are upset enough to want to down tools?
Look, members who have been deployed to KZN in the past weeks were deployed by the national office, and they are not necessarily affected by these payments that we refer to. Their payments have been addressed by the SAPS. We're speaking of members who are on a full-time basis stationed in those different provinces. But again, I think, what this tells us, this non-payment, because we've got similar experiences in the past. It definitely says to us that collective bargaining is under threat, because all decisions that have been taken, even leading towards these elections, were taken in the forum, which is a collective bargaining forum, which is the SSSBC. Now, if they are not implemented, and of course we can speak about many other assigned agreements which have not been implemented, it creates a trend that there will always be a time where decisions are taken and later undermined. So workers have already contributed their part, which is to ensure that elections are held in a safe environment. And only after they had done that work, they are told that, there are such delays. And of course, like I'm saying, this is not the first time it happens. So this time around, we will definitely be looking into what is to be done if this matter is not to be addressed. As to whether members will be protesting, we will obviously define the kind of protest that will be taken up. But of course, the union is definitely clear that there will definitely be action or repercussions if the SAPS does not come to terms with the agreed methodology around how these members are going to be paid.
All right. Richard Mamabolo is the national spokesperson of Police Union Popcru. Thank you very much for your time.